And that's why I was looking at them and thinking, you know, these guys are the underdogs. They weren't even originally in the Dacia Spring Electric tournament. These guys were brought in as basically a backup team to replace Pashy 90's team. And again, a shame. We wish him well in his recovery from COVID-19. But this is the team that's just stepped up and said, hey, this is a chance to win 15,000 euros and get a month's test drive in one of the greatest city electric cars of the modern age. Let's do this. Let's grind. Let's see how capable we are in an RLCS sort of level, because these are, of course, RLCS teams all amongst the upper bracket. We're, of course, already started with our first best of 5 of the day, and it will all be best of 5s throughout this day as well, even when we drop into the lower bracket. And though bringing out the Mustang again, speaking of electric vehicles, not that it's any better than the Dacia Spring Electric, of course, but it's nice to see these car variations, and nice to see a bit of a change in the meta as well. Not only looking to change the picture, however, backwall pass, but dealt nicely by the SUHHH defense.
A couple of exchanges back and forth between two teams. Nobody really taking up their control. Noli has the net at his mercy, and though respawning had no chance of getting to it, but he was demolished somewhere. Where was he demolished? Somewhere off the screen, I think, in my left ear. I heard the explosion. Perhaps Noli coming in for the play. But that is open. Absolutely open in their defense. I wish we could get another angle to look at the whole field formation. But Karmine Corp get themselves an opening goal. Now it's time for SUHHH, maybe Tho's Mustang, to throw in something on the pitch. Oli off the target. He only wishes this was going more to the center so his teammate could receive a rebound in the middle of the field as well. That just does not work.
Yeah, the right is not feeling particularly interested in the character so much. Killed off screen. And Astral here winning a really good challenge, perhaps killing any hopes of a counter-attack for SUHHH. And they really have been just stuffed in their own half for the first 2 minutes or so. Karmine Corp looking every bit as good as they did at the end of yesterday, and I think it is good that they've come off the back of yesterday in particular. Jam, one real factor that we've not talked about much is that, of course, SUHHH had a day's rest, essentially. Good in the sense that you're not doing a lot of games in a row, but it's not to say that Karmine Corp won't be slipping up either. Mike Boy with a freebie at the near post.
A good old spike in Itachi. Incredibly late, not even challenging Mike Boy in the air, results in this beautiful setup that the whole of SUHHH is only happy to pounce upon. So far we have seen offense, and again demos, nobody is shy in the field right now to remove their opposition straight out. But we have seen attack, we haven't really seen defense that much. That's the whole thing, and Itachi, oh!
There it is!
I wish Itachi would have finished it up by himself, but Noli is gonna extend his helpful hand and finish what Itachi has started. What a beautiful flip reset to set up his teammate.
I'm going to trademark this now. It's no Itachi. No Itachi coming in clutch again. Those two are on a wavelength. They're on a vibe. And I want to get on that vibe because it looks mighty fine. Big problems then for the SUHHH defense that looked so good the other day. But Karmine Corp with a lot of offensive firepower, and it's clicking. Astral across the way looking for Noli. Itachi forced back. Little boost as well. In fact, no boost in that wagon for Itachi. He goes up, still with no boosters. Oli picks up the 100. Of course, we've got the Noli-Oli battle as well, which is not going to get confusing whatsoever. Astral unable to lock down Mike Boy. He goes over the top of Itachi again. In steps Noli. Up to the top of the box. He's got that flip reset. He's going to lose possession of the ball anyway. Over to the far side. Here's Itachi. There's Mike Boy. Down to Tho again. Picks it up. Nice chip. And the defense comes in for Karmine. Over to Oli. Forced out of it, though. Doesn't want to start from that position. And the midfield settle down once again. Itachi over the top of Tho. Maybe looking for that double tap. No double tap, but there is Noli. Denied by Oli.
Beautiful play by Itachi as well. Despite a player challenging him in the air, does not care, goes all the way up and around the player as well. So a double tap opportunity was there for him. And it all started with SUHHH not really managing to get hold on the blue side of the field, and it cost him. Itachi could just start a free attack from his own half, and you give any of these players a chance to aerial dribble from their own side, and they're going to look threatening. Itachi, I wonder who's going to get it. Tho wins it in the end, and and it's SUHHH winning it in general. Nobody was ready to take this upon themselves, and SUHHH, it seemingly always set their sights straight on goal.
That's unfortunate. Astral actually did really well there. That was a gorgeous touch just to bring it down. But what he wasn't expecting was Oli being immediately on the scene to challenge that. Yeah, really, that goal was already conceded when the initial challenge up in the air was lost. And Itachi coming in clutch once again for the defense here as SUHHH look to wind up another attack. Astral able to avoid, actually, any sort of challenge in the midfield. Noli keeps it locked on the backboard. Astral picking this up high and Oli into the midfield. Itachi looking for Noli, but though able to poke that through to the blue backboard, Astral misses that completely, really out of sorts. Up off the backboard now for SUHHH, kept there by Mike Boy, though back into the center and all three players in net. There was no way they were getting through that defense.
Oh, well, I think SUHHH have some tricks up their sleeve, just not on that particular occasion. Maybe they're keeping it up. Is there anybody back? If Oli finds this pass to Mike Boy, he does. And that one late challenge by final Karmine Corp defender won't do much. Beaten one, beaten
Itachi.
two. Itachi just couldn't put it somewhere when there was no SUHHH players. And of course, positioning by Oli was just tremendous. As if he knew where Itachi is going to put it, and he was there to make full use of it.
And where was Astral in all of that? In the void, in the nowhere. He's certainly there as he punts it to the backboard, and he's certainly here, but with no boost and with Noli out of action as well, they're forced back. Astral able to get it to the backboard again. Noli, oh, he was looking for a touchdown. He sees Itachi, Mike Boy, still dangerous. Astral can't put it in. Itachi unable to do it either. That was the moment. And SUHHH, from a real difficult scenario, roar back into life and take first blood in the series.
I was fully expecting Karmine Corp to take this game. Yes, SUHHH was putting a goal here, putting a goal there. And eventually, all of these goals added up. Little by little, they chipped away at Karmine. And here we are, with a victory in a play that many of these goals... first of all, we started with just an open net opportunities. As yet another... Well, this was less of an open net opportunity. Then we went with something like this. Challenges by Karmine Corp that just always... They make a touch, but it never just goes far away enough, and SUHHH keeps on piling on the pressure, And here, finally, Itachi just lets it slip off of him. Mike Boy's still in the attack, and Oli, what a perfect position for him to be. That's how SUHHH gets one game, just little by little, moment here, moment there. Wham, bam, it's 3-2 and 1-0 in series.
Yeah, it was a bit of a nip and tuck sort of game, wasn't it? 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2, 3-2 ultimately, and was almost 1-0 there had it not been for Itachi getting in the way. Oh, this is looking tasty. Mike Boy down, but a little bit heavy, sadly, and no one there to receive. SUHHH looking to very much start this game as they ended the last one, only 1-0.
Sometimes these easy chips just do nothing for you, but Oli, immediate turnaround, immediate challenge. Noli can't even get to it, and Itachi thinks he has all the time in the world to replenish his boost. He does not. In the most unusual set of circumstances, SUHHH strike where nobody on Karmine expects it, and of course misses on the ball. Don't help, that bump might open the opportunity as well, but Mike Boy cannot nullify the defense of Karmine Corp well enough, or quickly enough, shall I say, to make it work. Now though, attack's coming in the other way, but though, what a beautiful rotation. Straight to his teammate as well.
Though goes central, and Astral intercepts. That's actually a really nice pass over to Itachi, but his touch was wayward, and it's straight to Oli, who's going straight for net with the help of Though intercepts. Itachi kind of fakes out Mike Boy, but doesn't really get much forward. Here comes the drive finally. Though, that's into the middle. Oh, and Astral's just allowed to have a free shot, and again he hits the woodwork. Astral doesn't have his shooting boots on, and it's starting to cost Karmine. What
if there's a deal that SUHHH have made with the woodwork, and maybe there's something very repelling currently being set up right at the post, at the crossbars, and Mike Boy catches himself between the two, and you think, no way he can get past the two, and he almost did. He almost catches him unawares, just springing out that touch at the last moment, but the defense still staying strong. No Oli in defense, and Itachi keeps this ball alive, but do they have the players? Nope, that's just a touch that goes a bit too far away from Itachi, and so they cannot continue. This is a touch that goes a little bit far away for Karmine Corp to take, period.
Oh,
and that almost went off the post, but Oli in the attack, or rather, that's Noli, his brother from another mother, and still no return for Karmine Corp.
Oh boy, the SUHHH defense has been given time to work as Noli able to sort of bruise off the challenge, and Itachi coming in clutch yet again. The Savior medal well deserved, and had it not been for him, SUHHH would have surely run away with game number 2 already. Astral, I say he's quiet, but he's just not had any sort of luck in front of net. Though now coming in with his own Savior medal, Astral going to pick up that 100 boost. He's not going to be able to stop Mike Boy from escaping and getting to the midfield line. Lovely connection with Tho. Noli, and that's a free shot for Mike Boy, unable to be stopped. Daylight between the two teams.
And Tho sets this up on the backboard with real no chances for himself. But another clear by Karmine Corp is just not enough. SUHHH either gets himself in a position that it just happens to be where Karmine Corp clear their shots, or SUHHH just have the eyes, like the third eye that's looking into the future, and so they know exactly where they need to be. They've practiced all of this game beforehand, and man, oh man, it's looking like the real deal. Their predictions are tremendous. And Oli recovering from a bump. You thought he was done for. Rotation from Karmine Corp through the net. Goalie moved out of the way. No, he still makes it. And no reprieve for Karmine. Oh, well, this is happening on the other end of the field. I'm thinking and looking at the SUHHH's defense, but everything interesting is happening on the other side of the field.
I'm not gonna. Well, I mean, I would be spoiling the sprint results in a very famous motorsport category if I said that Dutchman would be very happy at this point in time. I think any fan of Dutchman in Rocket League are going to be very happy as well. 3-0 the scoreline, and there's still 2 minutes left to run. Karmine Corp. Oh my word! Tho just annihilates any sort of dignity here for the last man. Astral turns back. Nolly's unable to get the read. Tho gets that touch. 4-0. Before we hit halftime, let me just amend my prior statement. And as fanciful and as pretty as Karmine can look in attack, up against a workman-like squad that's just doing the business and doing the business well, Jam, they are struggling.
If SUHHH score a 5th one, I would like to petition for this game to stop, because they're already dead. There's no other way. Karmine Corp is done for. They're dusted. And we cannot just prolong the agony. SUHHH, you are amazing. Those passes are incredibly tasty, and
oh, surely this is a goal. There you go.
This is a goal. This is a goal, and one small blip of opportunity for Karmine Corp has appeared on the horizon. I mean, you had to get this with a lot of fireworks, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, that was Astral just not having it. And again, sometimes we need a bit of hero Astral to sort of get things going again, but that felt a little bit desperate, and I feel it was a little bit fortunate that SUHHH for once had 2 players clumped up so that one got demoed, the other had a challenge one against him. That was way too easy for Noli to put in. At least they have scored a goal, though. It's not going to be a clean sheet for SUHHH, but it might be a 5th. It is Astral this time, who's able to throw the ball away from the net, but not for long. Mike Boy taking out Astral. It's 2v2. Those to the backboard. Noli able to get the touch, but that's still loose. Straight to Mike Boy. Only forced to back up here, as he probably wasn't expecting Mike Boy to step into the scene when he did. And they're just keeping Karmine Corp locked away. They've swallowed the key, Jam.
I'm just looking for the boost meter for a second until Noli has picked up 100. Nobody on Karmine after that prolonged defense had more than 15 in their tanks. It shows that they're playing with nothing, and if they cannot even get out of their own half...
Oh, that looks good.
It's dead. It's dead.
Oh, no!
Oh, the woodwork again. You're kidding me. Karmine Corp feel like they're cursed, and yet it's who feel like they're blessed with every single shot that just does not go in.
That was such a lovely dribble play. So much work done by Astral, only for it to see the pass end up hitting the post. I mean, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt, and that's gotta be frustrating. I would be expecting Nolly to put that one away. As complicated the move as it was on a plate for him also. And that's how it's going to end then. 4-1, game number 2. SUHHH move on to match point. I don't think any of us were really expecting such dominance in that second game, especially after how close game number 1 was. Karmine with a lot of work to do from here.
3-2 for the first game, 4-1 for game number 2. And looking at these stats, I was actually expecting a little bit more boost consumption for SUHHH, because I felt like they've starved Karmine Corp. And their movement across the field, together with stealing Karmine Corp's boost, would, at least in my book, would put much higher. But no, that was not to be. Karmine Corp even had more possession of the ball, but 4-1, that really did not give them that much good. And in the end, to me, it feels that Karmine Corp lost through poor touches in the defense that quite often resulted in an open opportunity. And result in also in their slowness to the play, in terms of that in many of these challenges, you've seen Karmine Corp attempt to 50-50 or challenge a ball, and they were losing. They were always just a little bit late. That coupled with SUHHH being just clairvoyant when it came to reading off the clears and the blocks from their opposition meant that Karmine Corp just stood no chance.
Don't get me wrong, I agree with the general sentiment. The Karmine defense is still not great, but they just didn't score, Jam. You know, Karmine had opportunities to at least put SUHHH into a little bit of a nervous state to suggest that, oh, maybe Karmine can come back here. As we'll call that an optimistic fake, as though finally gets a shot on target, but Nolly was ready for that one. But they're hitting the woodwork far too much. And they can't afford to do that, you know. We're still talking about an RLCS caliber team. Oh, what a bump and what a rescue plan by Nolly, who just almost beach ball spikes that upwards. Hoping for the best. My boy's hoping for the best, though. Try to squeeze it in far post. And Itachi on this occasion is the one that comes to the rescue. It's a really good opening couple of salvos here from SUHHH as they look to take the lead, but no lead as of yet as we enter the second minute of play.
But that threat is right there, and out of nowhere, they keep on popping up, the SUHHH players. Jack-in-the-box style, you never expect them. Karmine Corp does see a little bit more than we do by the nature of their points of view, but man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, Mike Boy does not care. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. He did everything right. I was about to put a medal on him, and the woodwork. Oh my god.
Well, Karmine Corp, fate has given you a slice of luck, a slice of fortune. If you don't go on to at least take a game from that, you do not deserve to win this series. I'm sure you could already say that based on how SUHHH have been playing against Karmine Corp as the... Oh my god! What are they doing? All three of them jumping as if they thought they had a claim to the treasure. Well, the only treasure they're going to be getting is a lump of gold just dumped on their heads. You deserve that, Karmine Corp. Disgraceful.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. I don't want to be too rude for Karmine Corp, but that is not it. That is not it. And that is very Razier-esque. Only makes it 2-0 after Karmine Corp once again just individual plays and individual defense. Yeah, Itachi just too eager. There are a lot of ants in the pants for that player. Somebody please chant she spans.
Jam, you know me, I love to praise offenses. I love pretty goals. But, I mean, I was literally just talking a moment ago about the Karmine defense being the major gripe that a lot of their fans have, and that is case in point. I mean, that is real not good, to be fair. And let's give them some credit, Karmine Corp. They still have 2 minutes to rescue the game. So if you're going to make your worst mistake of the tournament, you might as well make it now. And thankfully, of course, their actual tournament lives aren't on the line. They will fall into the lower brackets should they end up losing this game. But it looks like they are going to lose this game. SUHHH just, after that first game where it was so close, completely taken control of the midfield, and more importantly, they're putting the sort of shots on target, like this one, where they are always forcing a defender out. And this is where I am so happy to praise SUHHH, because once again, this rotational style, this nobody's the hero, nobody's, you know, better than the team sort of mentality is working so beautifully for them. Itachi trying to solo 2 players at the same time, not going to work. Noli here, dead stop. Going to bring this round the corner, looking to try and save something for Karmine. Again, 2 players in the way for SUHHH, but again, Karmine Corp not able to punish. Over to Astral, who just plain misses the ball. Oli on the counter-attack. Mike Boy continues it, but Itachi's going to be back in time. Palms it off his own backboard. So potentially, oh, that's off the post.
Just for a moment, Karmine Corp were retreating back after trying to make a play on no boost. And also retreating back, trying to make a defensive play on no boost. They persevered, they survived. I think it's even the better word, because we're talking about survival. Oli might not find the best angle out of that one. Nobody even comes close for SUHHH. They know that the 2-goal cushion that they have is well within their realm of possibilities, just keeping the remaining 2 minutes. And I was worried that there might be yet another opportunity for SUHHH to just put it on an empty net, but Itachi masks himself well behind the ball and makes the ever so needed clear. Noli. I think time for individual plays has come for Karmine Corp. Not in the sense that that's what they want, but that's what they need, I suppose. Or that's what the play has downgraded to. Everyone's trying to create something of their own.
Yeah, they need a spark. They need something. I mean, when the best player from yesterday for them, Noli, is looking as devoid of inspiration as he is, you know something is wrong. Here he is, over to Astral, who I think just ghost touches that. He doesn't get the power on it that he was hoping. And, I mean, we speak about lack of inspiration, devoid of confidence. Look, Karmine, they have been absolutely dismantled. And in the battle between the two teams, which I said right from the off, you were all here, folks, I imagine, when I said it, one of these two teams for me is going to be the favorite for this tournament. Well, how definitive an answer is that? 3-0 to SUHHH, and Karmine are drop-kicked into the lower bracket.
This is not what I expected. By no means. I felt this is a 4-game series, 5-game series. That's a dropkick. That is Karmine Corp being kept to 2 goals, then 1 goal, then no goals whatsoever. And that's what the powerhouses of Astral, Itachi, and Noli. After the previous day, they were, stat-wise at the very least, the best players across the whole of the tournament. Yeah. And to be just dropped like that by their opposition, it's crazy. SUHHH, you are the real deal, and you are showing it how it is that the RLCS teams need to play, and they're showing it instead.
I mean, yesterday I put a big proviso on hyping up Karmine Corp. I was like, hey, play it like you did in that last series. And we good. We real good. That was a 3-0 lost in multi-culti style of performance. Not at first. I think that first game could have gone either way, and it was only through sheer determination and doggedness from SUHHH that they were able to grind out that result. But again, this is where the mentality of the two teams really shows through. You got one team who just collapses under the thought of, oh, it's one of these series again. And then you got the other team which is like, oh, it's one of these series, where you know that you're just going to have that edge just through pure, we want to win this game sort of. It's an undeterminable factor, not an X factor, but something which really gives teams something a little bit more. And I'm so happy for SUHHH because, of course, they move into the upper final. They'll be facing one of either Semper or Vitality. And Jam, I'd rate their chances against either of those teams.
That's going to be our next match on the screens, folks. We're going to take just a short break to recharge our Dacia springs. You go and recharge yourself as well. Semper Esports, Team Vitality, as well as Craftman and Spooks are going to be with you right after this break.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Rocket RB and day number 3 of the Dacia Spring Electric Tournament and our beginnings of the playoffs. We just had a pretty one-sided affair with Sue taking down Karmine Corp. Myself, Craftman, and Spooks are here for our next matchup on the docket, and boy, oh boy, it is a doozy, a big one. Semper Esports versus Team Vitality. Two rosters, Spooks, that we've spoken about in the last couple of days. Roster changes galore, 2 weeks away from the start of the RLCS spring split, and both these teams have a lot to prove in their new thirds.
They definitely have, and it's been quite exciting to watch both these rosters playing. They have both surprised me better than I would have expected. I think from both these teams, they have really shown that they are already adapting quite well to their new teammates. They've shown that they are capable of already. Now it just depends who has adapted and integrated their teammate the best so far. Well, we've been talking about this quite a lot in the green room beforehand, but I think both our points go towards Semper in this regard.
Yeah, it does seem like that. Let's have a look at how both these teams got here. Let's start with Vitality as we look at the bracket from Pool A. You can see they beat out Rumble Bumblers. They did put up a one hell of a fight, but then Sue, as we just saw, just one hell of a roster that they put together. Obviously, the
Yeah.
Dutch roster from the World Open this time last year. And
Woo!
then they had to rematch against Rumble Bumblers. That 3-1 looks like it was easy, but it was certainly not. So that was Vitality's path to the playoffs. Let's head over to Group B and see how Semper got here as well. They had a little bit of an easier time. 2 sweeps right past Mustu Flock and right past FC Multiculti as well. And you would say that Semper are, out of these two team Spooks, the one with the more complete roster, I would say, with their new third on the field in Exotic.
I think the biggest reason for that is probably because in my eyes Exotic slots in quite well to where Archie left that spot. While on the other end, Radosin has a really tough place to replace in Fairy Peak as he was so fundamental to how Vitality played. And compare it to Archie on Semper, who basically was always allowed to do his thing, allowed to use his mechanics. Exotic can do a similar thing, but that just puts it forth that both these teams, or both your players, your co-players, are used to just giving a bit freedom. I think that helps.
Yeah, it does help. But just talking about Vitality for a little bit, we were saying this on Thursday Spooks that yes, Radosin was playing a really good game. He was helping out Vitality in a lot of places, but it didn't feel like all 3 members were kind of clicking with each other, like we've seen in the past with Vitality when Fairy Peak was in there, and before this season of RLCS, where they seem to be up there in the top 2, top 3 of Europe consistently, and obviously walking away with the RLCSX Championship for Europe this time last year. It didn't seem like Radosin had been fully incorporated in. K-Dop and Alpha still trying to find their way around this new player that they've got in their ranks.
Yeah, and it just, like we've hinted at before, and it just feels like there are just 3 individuals playing as of now, and not a team. And that is, of course, up to the new coach, Farah, because that is something to take a note of. They no longer are with their old coach Mouth. They are now with Farah, and that is a change you just have to go through and that you have to build upon. And a new coach is going to bring a new playstyle. So I'm curious how much they've been adapting so far, because of course adaptations are going to be happening during the game. But as I hear the engine slowly start in the background, crafters, I think we are about to get ready with that game.
Yeah, I think the players are starting to load themselves in. But just a quick word on Semper as well. Yes, they've had I don't want to say they're slightly easier pass. They've not had to come against a big roster in Sue, or even, I know they got swept out there, not even Karmine Corp they've had to face off against yet. So this is going to be a real test for Semper. I do think, I know you kind of hinted towards your prediction earlier, Spooks, but for me, I say Semper take this. I don't think it will be easy. I reckon this goes to game 5. Because the
Ooh.
last time that these two organizations actually faced off against each other, way back in Fall Regional 3, and do you know what happened in that one?
I do
Semper
not.
reverse swept Vitality. So that's something to be really wary of. I'll say it goes to 5 games. I'll give it to Semper. What about yourself, Spooks?
I'm going to be a bit interesting because you are going the boring route. Oh, yeah, both these teams are so great. 3-0 Semper. Done.
What's
dusted.
boring about a 5-game series, Spooks?
They are going to continue their streak. Semper is going to continue not losing a single game up until they play my Dutch boys. They will take that one, but that's for tomorrow if it happens like that. But for now, a 3-0 sweep from Semper. I just think it's a more complete team. It's just a team that stands there, and I am impressed by it. And for me, Vitality, if you want to impress me, you need to show what you can do with Radosin. As Shaw said, tries to get an early goal going, and it is Radosin who gets the save. But they have to be careful quite early on.
And as you head towards their Spooks as well, the winner of this will play Stu in the upper bracket final come tomorrow. That will be a best of 7. And obviously win this and you're done for the day. If you lose this, you'll have to face off against FC Multiculti in our lower bracket a little bit later on. Both these teams want to stay alive in the upper bracket, have a better shot at making the grand final, because €15,000 prize pool, but it all goes to the winner. And K-Dub, he's a perennial winner in his time. Alpha as well, try to follow up at a 3-man play for Vitality. We'll see Radosin with the first.
And if that ball didn't go in, you would have already felt like that could set the tone for your entire game, your entire series maybe. But luckily for them, Radosin does find the back of the net, getting that early goal for Vitality, which is also important, because in my eyes, if Vitality really want to get, I wouldn't call it an upset, if they want to get this win here, you really need to get just pushing right from the get-go and try to just force them into these awkward situations. As Alpha hitting the ball up, follows it up as well, but with 0 boost, you aren't going to get all so far. And Radosin in the own corner, he does get a good touch out of it. And once again, important facts to look at, Crafters. When Radosin pushes up, he is baiting out 2 of the Vitality defenders.
The Semper defenders, you mean, from that? Or he's bringing up.
Yeah, I know. I mean Semper defenders. Yes. Sorry.
Okay, right. I'm with you, because that is something that we were critical of it for Vitality a couple of days ago. Was this is a relatively open net, doesn't fall for anything for Vitality, but something we were criticizing Vitality for was their lack of push-up ability. They always seem to let one person go, and it was usually Radosin. K-Dub, especially K-Dub, was sitting back and trying to let Alpha and Radosin do a little bit more of the work, but now they seem more together. Especially that first goal, all 3 members getting involved in the Semper side of the field. Now we see the other full French team of Semper trying to press the issue in offense this time around, and Alpha just leaves that one for himself, and Shawset has to make a diving save at the end. Very close there as Alpha tries to pull out a bit of the mind game. Semper right back down the other end of the field. They lose possession in the corner.
And it is looking quite good though here for Vitality, looking a lot better than what both of us probably would have predicted. And right now, if this keeps on going, I think your prediction of that Game 5 is going to be happening way sooner than my prediction of a 3-0 for Semper. But we still have half the game to be played. As this ball does get pushed into front of the net. Alpha almost with the goal. Exotic just barely in time to block it off. And it is Casio transitioning over to the orange side, trying to get this offense started, trying to get it going. As Shawset with a quick shot, but Radosin won't ever struggle for those types of saves.
Something we've not really seen yet, and not really had the chance to see yet, is Casio, or excuse me, Exotic on a solo play. Every time Semper have been able to get some decent time on the ball, Vitality have been there for some early 50-50 challenges. Casio maybe with a little bit of space here. Exotic comes flying over the face of the goal line. Leaves it for Shawset in the middle towards the back wall. Now K-Dub able to take it away. It's very staunch Vitality defense. Not wanting to make too many mistakes here. They're happy with their 1-goal lead. You imagine Semper will be chomping at the bit to try and come forward and press the issue for Vitality. Now Shawset has Casio alongside him, but he loses the ball. Radosin towards net, off the bar, flying in goes K-Dub, but it's away before he can make contact.
And I feel like right now, for Vitality, they're a bit wavy with the way they play. Some moments they really impress me, and they are just pushing the envelope non-stop and are the ones in control. But we've had a bit of a minute there where I just found Semper looking a bit more dangerous. But now we're back to Vitality going onto the offensive end as this ball does break out, going into the orange half once again. Casio with 1 demo, frees up some space. This should be on target, leaves it alone, but Exotic not willing to jump for it. Maybe just in an awkward position, leaving it up for K-Dub now. Just said gets it cleared towards the side. Radosin, good speed. The man who impressed me back in the other group, in the group stages. he's doing it once again. Radosin playing quite well so far.
Let's see if Semper can turn up the heat a little bit. His Vitality have just kept the temperature down, kept it a light simmer rather than taking it to boiling point. It's been, I wouldn't say inspiring Rocket League from Vitality, but it's good enough to keep them in the lead for now, as I thought that one might have been past Kate up. Here comes Radosin on a pre-jump off the side wall. Alpha follows up and is met in the air by Doc 45. Casio now. Again, just Semper. Every time they're moving up, Vitality are right on top of them, and the 50-50 challenges from Vitality are working so well in their favor. 5 seconds left. Exotic, oh, he sat all the way back, maybe gathering a little bit of boost. You see he's got 25 in the tank. Now Chaussette with nothing. Has to keep it up. He won't be able to. And Vitality win a very safe game number 1.
And that is pretty much the name of the game right now, safe. They looked, for most part, I would say like 3.5 minutes, they looked in control. Easing things out, not taking things too hard, and just playing the good game. Playing the way that they can play solidified and just get things going for each other. Something we did not see at all during the group stages. I'm quite excited if this is how much they've changed already within 2 days.
Yeah, and you see the shot count as well. 9 shots from Vitality, 3 apiece. Just shows you how different, what a different mentality these guys are playing with, and the different style that Vitality have employed, knowing that they kind of needed to change things up otherwise from the group stage to now. Otherwise, they'd be pretty much lambs to the slaughter, especially of a side like Semper, who when they have their day, when they're on top of their game, which it doesn't look like they are right now. They can find some footing as we go into game number 2. But Vitality, knowing that they have to use all 3 men, they need to use Radosin, they need to use Alpha, and they especially need to use K-Dub as well. Lovely to see all 3 men sharing the load on that team. Have the first game to boot. It's only 1 goal though. So Semper will recognize that and try and find a way through this Vitality defense. Although Radosin looks to carve a knife through butter of the Semper defense within the first 10 seconds. Won't be able to make anything of it right here, right now, although Alpha may have another goal. It just finds Casio.
And this is a lot of free time there for Radosin as this ball is going quite quickly. Can he get it with the fake attempt? Trying to pull something off I have not seen in a while, but so far, and I think probably Crafters, you will agree with me, this series is looking like it will be decided by whoever scores first every game. That's at least what it's the vibe that is being given off to me right now. And what is also being given off to me right now is just how good Vitality is looking and how well Radosin really feels comfortable already, which is a surprise how short of a time they've already played together.
Just thinking back to our last couple of days of competition, that has been the case, but Exotic, he'll put the ball in the back of the net first. Lovely play, slow play by Chaussette, gives Kate up a lot to think about, and Radosin is just not ready for that ball to pop the way it did. Semper finally on the board.
That is what you like to see from Semper. I said it right before that. It might be whoever scores first will take it, as both these teams look like that, but I guess Vitality doesn't care about what I have to think as they go once again. Radosin trying to block it off, but the save still comes on true. And now it's Casio. Taking it easy, letting Alpha come to him, but Alpha with a beautiful 50 and gets it past Chaussette, can bring it into the middle, leaves it alone, but the shot not on target just yet. Kate tries his best, but Chaussette with the save just in time.
Oh, heartbreaking for Vitality as they scramble on the goal line to try and make anything of that. Semper holds on, maybe a counter-attack down the other end. Casio with the brilliant shot, and Alpha with a decent enough save. Radosin, oh, lovely cherry pick, and Casio just picks that off the goal line, right back into the corner, but Vitality are not done. Alpha off the backboard, Kate up to play it down for Radosin, but the defense is right on top of that.
As this ball goes forward once again, Vitality really trying to get that tied up game. This is a good hit up, it drops straight down in an awkward position for Semper, but Chaussette saving his team once again. Kate dropping it down for Radosin, but no shot can be found, meaning that we will still have a 1-0 lead in favor of Semper, as I hope we can see the game quite soon once again. There it is. Excuse me for a bit of the PowerPoint slide presentation, but we do see a bit of the car again.
Yeah, I think we're getting that back. At least on our end, I'm not sure what it's like on your end. Is we can just hear cars going right now.
I heard a goal.
The goal has happened because I see a
told you.
countdown. What happened?
Well, we won't see the goal. We might see it in
it's
the
2-0
replays.
Semper.
Well, this is quite a surprise, though. 2-0. Vitality was looking quite good in offense, but of course, the second things just go a bit blurry. We don't know what's going on. The Semper made use of it.
What they have is things slow down once again. Semper just don't want to be. I think that was that was happening a lot yesterday. I think it was more for Astro and Karmine Corp. Like the screen would go a bit blurry, and then all of a sudden Astro scores.
Nah, it was non-stop Itachi who had it happen.
Oh, was it Itachi? So it was. You're right. You're right. Excuse me for thinking Astro actually scored anything on Karmine Corp. Oh shade, I'm sorry about that. As we're just seeing this one come back. Everything's going a little bit haywire for us. I do apologise for these technical mishaps. We'll try and get these sorted as quickly as we possibly can. Hopefully we can see through the static. And I heard a goal go in. I'm not sure who it's for. It's for Semper, and it's Exotic.
Well, it would be quite surprising if all of a sudden we saw Itachi on the screen, like very big, and he scored again. Would be kind of weird in this matchup, but Trio Semper looking good, looking like the team that I wanted to see. Well, it's how much you can see right now. That's a bit of the problem, but Trio Semper, that is good for them, especially seeing how much they struggled to get onto the offensive end in game one. Exotic now, taking it away once again. Kato with a good hit, trying to bring it back into the blue half once again, but no goal can be found this time around. Alpha is up quite quickly, but Casio outspeeding Alpha. That is a weird thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. As I think we're battling our way through this, these technical glitches, and no technical glitch so far for Semper as they almost bury that one in the back of the net. Casio was able to take it away, and now Chaussette follows up. Good shot, Alpha with a better save though.
There comes Casio, dropping it down once again for Exotic, who tries his best to get that fourth. Eventually his ball, I was going to say, will drop into the net, but Alpha has something else to say. 30 seconds left on the clock. It's now or it is never for Vitality. A good opportunity right there. The passing plays almost working out, but not on target just yet. And you will say, and I would say, with the seconds just sticking away, it is a trio win for Semper.
Yeah, Semper back on top in this one. Maybe a fourth. Perhaps a fourth. I think it is a fourth. I hear the goal explosion. It's Chaussette who put that one in the back of the net.
And that is, I mean, I've said it before, it is quite important for them to get these types of wins against Vitality, bouncing back into it, because it is so hard to have a full game where you just really could not get onto the offense, and then having to go into game 2 and Vitality still looks the same. So getting those 4 goals is a really big mental boost.
It certainly is, and it will not do any wonders for the Vitality side of things, with the Vitality fans watching on, hoping that their roster bends but not breaks. They have broken quite a bit in this one, as you see there. Exotic, and we'll try and get all these goal replays for you. Show you what you missed. But for the moment, I think we're just going to see that one, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll try and get those technical hitches sorted out for the preceding games. But yeah, I mean, for Vitality to shut out Semper in game 1 only by 1 goal, but then for Semper to retaliate back and shut them out with 4, it just shows you the quality of rosters that we're playing with here, Spooks.
And it shows that you were truly right today, Craftman. I just have to listen to you tonight, I guess. That's just the way to go.
I mean, you used all your correct predictions up on Thursday. Fair. It's time for me to have some, isn't it?
Fair. I gotta give you some of it. Can't take all the cookies for myself, even though I would love to eat them all by myself. And right now, the ones who probably want to win all by themselves is Semper and Vitality, but it's not going to be that easy. That game 5 looking quite unlikely, as this ball will be hanging around in the midfield end. This ball goes to a forward once again. Good shot coming out, but safe from Alpha. Luckily enough, we saw that happening, but they're still not safe.
Very, very close from Exotic. Now Casio maybe tries to flick this one on. Alpha just stands his ground. Exotic flying in again. Vitality hoping that they can retaliate back. Here comes K-Dop looking for the top corner. He'll just find the post instead. And Vitality again on the counter attack is not really bothered Semper all that much. The one goal that Vitality have scored just came from a close play out of the corner back in game number 1.
Indeed, but Vitality is trying to push forward once again, but nothing really being created, nothing really showing itself just yet for Vitality, and this ball will just be left in no man's land as well. Alpha can't get to it another time. Kate up awkward position, and there's the 1-0 for Exotic and Semper. And now this is the Semper that we saw, the Semper that swept during their group stage.
That's lovely stuff from Casio and Exotic. Like you said, we've seen the passing plays be a big, big factor for a lot of teams. None more so than Semper. Well, again, we've not yet to see, at least that we've been able to visually see here, the pop-up off ability, solo playability of Exotic. If you don't need that right now, you don't need to pop it out every single time if you've got those passing plays under your belt. You're happy enough with those, but Vitality had 5 goals go against them in a row, dating back to last game. Let's see if they can get one back very, very soon. Alpha 54 now, trying to clear his lines. And again, we saw this from Vitality in game 1, Smooks, that Vitality just met Semper with a lot of 50-50 challenges and were winning most of them. Now it's Semper with that moniker of taking the ball away from Team Vitality.
You see it even right there with Exotic giving up his life right there, but still getting the block, and it's still inside the midfield. Another opportunity presenting itself. This one will be saved, but those 50s that we talked about and you talked about are leading to a lot of these opportunities as they do try to get a couple more going. They still haven't left the orange half. The ball still bouncing inside the middle. Exotic trying to find a passing play with one of his teammates, and this is quite an annoying bounce for Vitality, and it seems that everything really has been annoying for Vitality. They haven't really been able to escape anything.
Not really able to put any offense onto the blue net either. That just comes from Semper, just like you said, being really annoying. Now they start to try and hold this center of the pitch. Hit up again. Just lays it off. It's a touch really to no one except Casio. Sending it towards the backboard and trying to drop that one down, but it finds itself back in the center half of the field. Radisson now, taken out is Alpha 54 and Casio, in fact, to the backline. It's 2v2. Exotic, he doesn't matter how many men are on the field, he's just going to score right from his own half.
That is beautiful right there from Exotic, the ease, and looking for the bump as well. It's not even necessary really at the end, but it is good to see. And, well, Crafters, I may be predicting the scoreline wrong, but I'm at least predicting one thing correctly. That whoever scores that first goal has been the one to take the lead. And this, once again, proves my point.
Oof. And yes, still no game where a team has not been shut out. 1-0 in the first game for Vitality. It was 4-0 last game for Semper, now 3-0 here. Whoever scores first is yet to be retaliated against in defiant fashion. This time around, Semper holding on to this lead with everything that they have and extending it. Vitality struggling now after what seemed like you wouldn't say dominating victory in game 1. It was a safe enough victory. Now Semper are let loose from their cages and show what they're really made of in the corner here. Here comes Chaussette over the top. Will just be into the Vitality defense, but still no solid clear has came down. Now they tried to find Radosin as Alpha, but he loses the ball. Radosin has to make the save off the backboard to prevent that direct shot on net. Now the drop down for Chaussette, right on target for Radosin saves.
Beautiful passing play coming out right there. Once again, the shot is there, just a bit too high. And this is why in the pre-show I was so confident in Semper. This is what I am talking about, how easily Exotic has been put into this team. He's looking stellar, and Semper is genuinely looking like a good team right now. Exotic once again, just not finding the goal, as K-Dub does find it this time around, but they're only with 2 defenders. Alpha 54 just got pushed back even further into the blue half, as K-Dub here with the control trying to break out, but 3 goals, 15 seconds. It's too little too late.
Alpha.
The crazy flick attempt is nice to see. It just isn't a goal, and Exotic tries to get a 4th onto his name. Isn't working around this time around. Alpha maybe getting one for himself. The ball just dropped down, and the 3-0 will stand. Vitality shut down 2 games in a row.
And it just seems really uninspiring from Vitality right now, because they've not been able to get anything solid going. I mean, you look at the shot count as well. 9 shots from Vitality. You would think, and with but then look at right down at the bottom there, 64% field domination from Semper Esports, meaning that the ball's spent 64% of the time in the orange half, in the Vitality half. So despite all the shots from Vitality, none of them were quality, but Semper had the majority of the possession, and this ball just seemed like it did not want to leave the Vitality side of the field.
It really looked like it was just stuck there. And I'm looking at another thing that really should open your eyes a tiny bit. Vitality, if I'm correct, it was Alpha, 5 demos. He was really trying to just break away from Semper. But Semper still got them stuck. Even when one of their players was demoed a lot of times, they still were stuck in the orange half. They were refusing to leave. As Josh said, beautiful pass coming out, but K-Dub intercepting it. Still an awkward position to be in, as Casio gets a demo right there on K-Dub. The ball will be slowly flying through the air. No one really getting a good hit on it, as this ball stays stuck. Once again, Exotic trying to open this up right away for Semper.
Exotic has been the man to create chances, but Casio with another goal in the second of Semper. Can Vitality rally every game this series? Whoever scored first has shut the other one out. Vitality need to break that trend if they want to stay in this upper bracket. But for me, Spooks, Vitality just seem completely flat on their faces right now. Semper seem like on a completely different level. Chaussette off the backboard, maybe looking for a second. Exotic comes over the top. But again, it's just possession for Semper in the Vitality half.
It's the difference between a team that has figured things out already and how to play together, compared to a team still trying to figure their spot out on the field, figure out where they need to go, figure out where they need to be. This is an opportunity going their way, but still no shot on target. Radosa now from the ceiling. What can he do all by himself? Maybe a pass into the middle, trying to force his way through. It's an exciting offer to see. Sadly enough, nothing really comes from it, and that's the problem always for Vitality. Things look exciting, things look good, but never really work out.
Vitality trying to make something exciting happen at the expense of Semper Esports. Exotic leaves it, and Casio has to pick this one up in the corner. Alpha 54 now has to start forcing the issue for Vitality down in the Semper side of the field. And you can see now the French Bees buzzing to an opportunity to break through the Semper defense. They're trying to push down so far into the Semper half. But again, Semper are starting to win these 50-50 challenges. A bump onto Casio doesn't really phase them all that much from Radosin. And now Casio has the space to freewheel this up the side. Touch off the ceiling will actually find its way over to Chaussette. Still only one for Semper. They want to get a second. Here comes Exotic. And Chaussette has to lay this one back, let Casio come in. Exotic is way too far on the left, as now able to rotate in as Chaussette takes it off the backboard. But again, it's just Semper piling on the pressure, not letting Vitality anywhere near this blue side of the field. And every second that ticks off this clock is just more and more pain for Vitality.
It really is, and Semper really ain't allowing much from Vitality. And honestly speaking, with the way Semper has been looking, as we see a passing play coming out from Vitality, getting blocked by Chaussette, reading it beautifully. I will say this right now, I like the way the Semper looks a lot more now than what it was with Archie, to be honest.
It's certainly given them new life. And we always say that about rosters who, you know, come together completely as new or swap one player in and out. K-Dop will maybe looking for Alpha. Oh, the stream is frozen again for us. I do apologize for this, but I don't think the goal has gone in.
Nah.
Just watching that back on a separate one, and yeah, it was just off the backboard, and Alpha not able to collate that. Just set now. Out to Redosin, now K-Dop. Vitality need to have a shot here. Alpha was spying that empty net, but Chaussette denies him, and maybe right back upfield. They're just playing keep away now, our Semper. But a big boom downfield. Redosin can't get the cherry picker shot, and he'll get K-Dop gets demoed for his troubles. Vitality tried to pull all the tricks out of the bag, but nothing is fooling Semper.
How long can you keep trying to pull the trick of keeping the ball away against a team like Vitality? They're still trying to push. They know that they don't want to go down. They know they will go down if you lose right here. They're still trying to force their way through. I just wish they were using each other a bit more. Pass to each other. Try to find those quick 1-2 passes as Alpha goes up alone. Leaves the ball alone as Casio does get a hit onto it. This ball in an awkward position. Chaussette still getting it away. But nothing really being sold just yet from Semper. They're looking a bit shaky right now, defense. Maybe the tactic isn't the right one, as K-Dop does find the net.
And finally, the deadlock is broken. No full shutout for this entire series. K-Dop finds one, but it was a lucky enough pinch from Alpha to send it into the middle. And K-Dop with great positioning, great communication there by Alpha, knowing that